This is a unique class. These students started in the pandemic when SCI-Arc was shifting how we were exploring digital representations, and we were broadcasting projects from our homes.
Hi, my name is Camille.
Tianze We.
Shuang.
Joy.
Betty.
John Chan.
Jordan.
Yujia Fang. Biao. Jure.
Sopie, Akoury.
Awesome Idol, and I'm in the SCI-Arc Gallery for the selected graduate thesis.
Hi, I'm Jackie Bloom. This is the graduate thesis exhibition. This exhibit showcases the work of thesis award recipients. This year we see intersections between architecture and technology, specific histories and archives, speculations and virtual space, and the intersection between urban space and infrastructure.
The title of my thesis is Common Objects, and with the intersection of language, interfaces, and architecture.
The name is Domestic Wilderness. It's a docufiction film about ecology. So it's placing a natural documentary in an average American house, and it's trying to push this boundary and an idea what the nature is.
Thesis was really about proposing a new interface that starts to work in this digital double environment, that starts to separate kind of physical and digital and bring them together within this interface, and it's kind of acting separate from traditional interfaces and languages, so starting to remove language from the design process, specifically function and scale and program.
I was really interested in decay, how to portray things that have some sort of age, that are not new and that are part of all sorts of ecosystems that degrade them and change their form and texture. I was trying to push away from the human-centric perspective, show that there are like different kind of actors living in that house that occupy it and that have different kind of time scale and size scale.
Our title for the thesis project is Out of House and Home. It situates itself within the idea of reconfigurability and transformation of spatial models with non-standard material.
Our project is Earthly Passage. It is a new form of funerary architecture in Hong Kong.
The title was Reflections of Utopia. Initially staged the project as a utopic city in the middle of the desert, but as you went down the timeline of the project, it is revealed that it's actually a dystopia.
We promoted a business model and introduced C&D West, and they can play around with the whole interface to choose from the pieces. And then the AI-based system will help them combine all the pieces to build assemblies. And if they are not okay with the assemblies selections, they also have the option to work with our on-site designers to see everything from a designer side.
Started with a lot of research about the funerary traditions in Hong Kong. The way that we did that was through these objects that we replicated and tried to abstract. We have the urn, we have the bakwa mirror that, from an architectural standpoint, kind of dictates the orientation of graves and funerary architecture. There's the overall map of the building, and then there's also the human experience within that map. So we tried to show both sides of it, to have the model show you how it looks from above, and then very long, drawn-out procession, or the perspective of the procession on the screen so that people understand what it's like to be in that space and how it emulates the qualities of a city.
Regardless of whatever intervention you put into a natural landscape, at some point nature is going to reclaim that asset and create a new sort of blend between artificial and natural landscape.
Our thesis title is Techno Lonely. In our thesis, we look to explore how we can bring online digital connection into the physical realm. And we did that through designing 3 mazes situated within the park beneath the 6th Street Viaduct.
So the title of my project is 51 miles plus 25 kilometers equals 13 feet. So the project is an installation made up of concrete models with an overlay of projections. So the projections are animations, videos made on Unreal Engine that recreate the stories of the Los Angeles River, both factual and fictional stories.
My thesis is called Acts of Living at Measured by Influence.
It's a multimedia installation capturing a parafictional narrative about the way we interact with social media and technology today.
We try to visualize how the technologies can enhance the experience of a physical environment.
So within the installation, the physical model and the projection complete each other in a way where the scale of one affects the scale of the other. When there's a scalar shift within the video, it affects the way that we're seeing the model itself. And there's a back and forth between the physical representation of the place and of the site, and it's a digital recreation.
I wanted to create something that people could interact with, so you can sit on it, take a picture with it. I decided to use the installation as a set itself. Initially, the presentation started with me being in Zoom, and the second part was me kind of coming out, interacting with all of my props, but then ignoring the audience as a way to actually situate myself into the set.
For my project, I work with Charles Allen. Our project is called Aphopolis. It is a project derived from the citizen sensing data, mostly about traffic data, and we use that data to generate a city where vehicle and human traffic coexist with each other.
My thesis speculates a radical way and albeit plausible middle ground between pure preservation and tabula rasa.
My thesis project is casting ground for the Shenzhen.
I studied was in Shenzhen, and the chunk I selected is in the middle of the village. The orange color in the chunk model is not only showing the public spaces, but also show how people circulate from the old town to the top of the community.
The city is going more higher and higher. My project is going lower and lower.
Charlie and I tried to envision a smart city, so we utilize electronic devices like EV panel. We imagine flying vehicle and vehicle that moves on solar energy as well, and drones that deliver, which is almost become a trend right now.
The anxieties and the consternations about the issues of the world resulted in very critical but imaginative and poetic responses to the provocations of today. And that is the common kind of underlining theme between all of the projects that we see here in this exhibit.